Welcome to the Rank 'em Podcast. Glad that you have joined us wherever it is, however it is you are listening today. We certainly appreciate it. You can download our podcast wherever it is you listen to your podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio app, YouTube, wherever. Give us a 5-star review. Help us out however you can. I'm Garrett Seawright. You can find me on Twitter at Garrett Seawright. Joining me again, as always, is my co-host, Don Garwood.
Show me the money.
Sometimes Don's drop-ins are 2 minutes long, and sometimes it's just one line. And he's always excited no matter what. Don's on Twitter at Donnie_G. I'm at Garrett Seawright. And joining us once again this week is my younger brother, Zach Seawright.
How we doing?
Zach is on Twitter at Zach Seawright. Get Zach with an H. And you can direct all of your hate towards him.
That's what that H is for. It's for your hate.
Is it? Isn't that what the H is for?
I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Mom was looking out.
Right. She
30
was
years
just, she was
ago.
just like, everyone's going to send their hate mail via the internet to this boy. I don't know what the internet is. It's 1991. Haven't the foggiest clue, but it's going to be big.
Huge.
She was.
There's no H in that.
No H in huge.
No H in huge.
So today on the Rank 'em Podcast, we are going to go ahead and rank 5 TV game shows that we would like to appear on.
Yes.
Yes.
That is correct.
And I think we should talk about what specifically we're talking about. We're not focusing on
Big Brother
Right.
is not a game show that
kind of
we're
your
talking about.
reality game shows. So no like Survivor, The Amazing Race, which I think we all would like to be on, you know, those shows, but more like game show network.
Right.
Game shows.
They don't have to be on the game show network, but that style of show.
Right. So
Like the Newlywed Game, which I'm assuming
Right.
none of us have, but
Right,
that
right,
is
right.
a game show.
right. That style rather than
Not saying that I don't want to be on the Newlywed Game, because I love game shows. I love board games. I love all the games.
I
Love
would
games.
just really like to be married.
I guess we didn't talk like do we have dating games on our
I don't have a dating game
like,
on my list.
Would I love to be on The Bachelor? Would I love to be The Bachelor? Yeah.
That would
Like
be lovely.
30 beautiful women between the ages of 22 and 28 that all think
They
I'm
all
rich
want
and important.
me.
Right. Would I love that? Sure.
Oh, what
As
was
my
the-
wife
what was
sits
the other
3.5
one?
feet away from me.
Joe Schmo, I think was
Joe
the-
Millionaire.
Joe Millionaire.
Where
Yeah.
they told him they told all the girls he was a millionaire and he was a construction worker.
Right.
But he was a good looking dude.
Yeah.
He was. Yeah.
Yeah.
He
So that
just
would be
wasn't the millionaire that they portrayed him to be.
correct.
Right.
So I don't think we have any gaming show or dating games. Zach, do you?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Like, do you have like there was like a blind date game like back in the day that on the dating show where you'd have to ask questions.
Right.
Oh, contestant
And then
number
there was that
one.
serial
What is
killer.
your ideal? Was there?
Oh, yeah, you never heard that? There was a serial killer on, I forget what that show is called, but she
It was
picked
probably just blind date.
something like that. But yeah, there's a serial killer on that show.
Good times.
Yeah, so they cut that off pretty quick.
Serial killer on blind date show.
Well, so when it
It's
comes
like
to
70s. It was in the 70s.
when it comes to dating games, there was
The
this.
dating game is what it was called.
All right.
Convicted of killing 4 women and a 12-year-old girl.
Wow.
Jesus.
There was this one dating game that was on Telemundo when I was in college, and one day we were flipping through the. So where I went to college, there was like one TV in the cafeteria, hangout area, what have you, and we were flipping through the channels one day, and we found this random dating game show on Telemundo, the Spanish network. And it was called 12 Corazones, which is Spanish for 12 hearts. There was 12 contestants. They all were an astrological sign. And it was just a mess from there. We, none of us, a bunch of white kids from Northwest Ohio, obviously don't speak Spanish past Donde está la biblioteca.
Yes.
Dos cervezas.
This is por favor, right. And so we have no idea what's going on. But by God, every day at
Agua.
2 o'clock, we were down there in the boathouse watching 12 Corazones, and it was just a good time.
Sort of like when I was in college, we used to make time to watch Tyra.
Right.
You used to make time to watch Tyra.
Yeah.
In between your not going to classes.
Exactly, between breakfast and lunch is what I call it. Breakfast, watch Tyra. For absolutely no reason. It wasn't phenomenal television, let me tell you. I'm like, all right, I'll wait for everybody to come back to the dorms. We can go to lunch. That worked out well. Still paying for that
Your
hotel.
very expensive
Still
hotel.
paying for that hotel. So without further ado, pick that up at the old college.
Adieu.
Yeah, adieu. Zach, you are the guest who is usually in the recliner, but we've changed the setup to where you're at the big kids table now. Since you're the guest, you go first. 5 game shows you would like to be on, and
My
go.
number 5 is Beat Shazam. A few years back, there was this game that was on Facebook that was called Song Pop, where they gave you 4 options, and you had to guess the correct either song title or artist out of the multiple choice options the fastest. And I played it with all my friends. I was very good at it. One time I beat Garrett by a single point, and he wrote on my Facebook, I just lost a round of Song Pop to Zach Seawright. So when he wakes up dead in the morning, we all know what happened.
Yeah, you had to buy new tires that day. I'm not gonna pretend I didn't slash him.
Garrett's a gracious winner. He always has been.
And
He's a very humble loser.
Right.
I'm competitive, and
You know.
sometimes I make mistakes and I beat myself. And
I
don't handle it
I
well.
once had to leave Garrett's house when
You're
we
throwing
were.
change-ups low and outside, and it was bullshit.
So what were we playing? Like
NCAA baseball,
two-
06.
Right, 06.
And you could set it to where it only pitches in the strike zone, and Don just kept throwing change-ups down and outside. I'm like, get the fuck out of my house.
Because the only thing you
'Cause
can
you're
do with a
pissing
low
me
and
off.
outside changeup
Is hit it to the shortstop.
is hit it to the shortstop.
This is bullcrap.
I don't know. I just remember
Literally
after a
kicked
little-
out of his house.
I remember after a Little League game that Dad had to take Garrett aside and have some strong words with him because he threw a bat.
Well, struck out to end the game. All right, wasn't happy. And
But yeah,
one of
so
Zach's friends' dads was our coach. It is the nicest look, well-mannered, even-keeled dudes ever. And he like grabbed me by the collar. Was like, "I'll kill you if you ever throw a bat again."
I'm trying to think of who that would have been, but we can figure that out
yeah,
later.
that's what I was kind of wondering too.
You probably don't know,
So Beat Shazam was basically the professional version of Song Pop. It was hosted by Jamie Foxx, which I think he would just be a cool guy to talk to for a day.
I was sitting here. I was like, "That was Wayne Brady, right?"
No.
And they all don't look the same. I just never watched the
He
show.
does, he does host a game show, though.
Yeah,
I
he
can't remember
hosts
what it
Let's
is.
Make a Deal.
Yep,
There it is.
right there before The Price is Right.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm very musically inclined. I know the words to like every song ever, it seems, or I can fake my way through it better than Don making up words to his own song. But
It's the remix.
I'll say Don always just drops remix, and so he's good to go. But yeah, that was always a game show that caught my eye that I would have liked to have been on. I don't think they make new episodes, but if they do, I might have to apply.
I mean, of the stuff you make money.
Right.
I know this song.
Right.
Pretty.
Yeah, I'm aware of that song.
Yeah, it's a pretty good racket.
So is there like a time limit? Do you have to actually beat the
literally
Shazam
have to
app?
beat Shazam.
Yes, you have to beat the Shazam app.
So what if it like starts playing Bohemian Rhapsody and it just like because it's
Like,
heard it
it-
8,000 million times that it just would that be
Pretty
trillion?
sure that's 8 billion.
Billion. That'd be billion.
8 billion.
8,000 million?
Yeah, that'd be a billion.
Well, not really, but
Or it'd be 8 billion.
Regardless,
But
um,
so they would have different like difficulties,
Okay.
like more obscure songs, and so
is this Bohemian Rhapsody?
right, you like, and they wouldn't always do it like the beginning. Like sometimes they would smack it in the middle of the song. So yeah.
I'm
Don, what's your
imagining that Bohemian Rhapsody wasn't on there as often
Probably
as I
not.
like to think it
Probably
would be.
not.
Don, what's your number 5?
So my number 5, I don't think it is in anymore. I'm looking it up. Yeah, just premiered in October 2019. Is the Cash Cab?
Oh, with Ben Bailey there driving the old cash cab.
Yes, sir. I always so I used to work at a waiter in a restaurant in high school, and we had a TV, and we always had it was on like Discovery or something. It was on Discovery Channel, and so Discovery Channel would play all day, and I love Cash Cab. You're gonna see a theme, and it's going to be
Me knowing
Trivia.
useless junk for money.
right.
Yeah, there's
and
a lot of that going
I
on.
always played the Cash Cab and just got super frustrated with the easy questions that people would miss on it. And it wasn't like a super high paying. It's like you won $800 instead of paying $30 to go 4 blocks.
Right.
And my luck is I would get on the Cash Cab and I would be in the middle of being lazy and be like, just take me like 4 blocks up. Like,
And
I
then
got
Ben Bailey's like, I have a camera crew following us. Will you please play the game?
Will you Will you drive me 20 blocks to take me 4?
Right. I'm just trying to go to Five Guys.
Oh, this is a red light challenge.
So that's I had considered Cash Cab as well on my list. My number 5, and I feel like this is probably on the very fringe of TV game shows. It might be in its kind of own, but I think it's a game show, and it's not on anymore and hasn't been on in 25 years. It's Legends of the Hidden Temple on Nickelodeon.
I have Legends of the Hidden Temple in my honorable mention.
That is my number 4.
All right. So you had to answer
Blue Barracudas all the way.
Oh, green monkeys, man. Green monkeys. Orange iguanas, silver snakes.
I say silver snakes, kids.
There's
that
6 of them.
3-piece puzzle that nobody could do.
Right. Oh, you were the baddest.
You had to like look at the camera and it was all reversed, right? And then you had to swipe it. Am I thinking of the right thing for that?
It was something like that.
You had to go through these 12 rooms, and if you went in the wrong door, the Mayans got you, and basically your whole life was ruined. And then you had to put that 3-piece monkey together at the end of the show. Yeah. And if you did it, you were the baddest motherfucker on the planet. Like, straight up. Like, you were the man. If you could go through those 12 rooms,
right?
Get the pieces.
Because nobody ever got through the temple.
Like 3% of people. Like, you were the creme de la creme.
So, Don, are you aware of the conspiracy theory of?
Oh God,
I would like to be.
Okay, so the conspiracy theory is that
you have my attention.
The conspiracy theory is that Legends of the Hidden Temple
takes place in Eureka's castle.
No, is not a show. It is a real thing.
Okay, well that's a dumb conspiracy,
right? That like the host is possessed by Olmec. And the temple, like all the crew are like possessed by the spirit of Olmec, and it's the dumbest thing in the world.
Why don't you go ahead and step?
So what you're saying is that's less of a conspiracy theory and more of like a fever dream
I thought
of a fan-made movie.
Perhaps
hey, that's interesting. And if the people that were on the show were like, these guys were the weirdest motherfuckers I've ever met in my life. And they all just like their eyes were rolled back in the back of their head. They didn't talk to us in between takes. Then maybe I could get behind that. But I think it's just
they were supposed to make new episodes.
It's not making my list of conspiracy theories part 2.
They were supposed to make new episodes of Legend of the Hidden Temple for Quibi, which nobody has or subscribes to Quibi. So I don't know if they.
But I would think about it because of that.
So I don't know.
Hey, Legends of the Hidden Temple's a banger.
It is a great show, and so you had to answer kind of trivia questions to get to the final round. So that's why I put it in the TV game show. Yeah. It wasn't just kind of a physical.
You can buy Legends of the Hidden Temple T-shirts on eBay, and
you should probably do that.
Don is like trying to talk himself out.
Gonna assume they're not in my size. Just a lunch I've got.
I'll look them up.
Well,
I'll order some right after I get Carol Baskins to do that.
Do our cameo for us.
Do our cameo.
Before you look it up, what is your number 4, Don? Because that's Zach's number 4 is Legend of the Hidden Temple. What is your number 4?
My number 4 is The Price is Right. And you probably think, hey, that's very low on your list.
I do think that.
But
I've
got bangers from here on out.
I don't know that they're better than that.
They're better than The Price is Right.
I will be the judge of that.
So I want nothing more than to go up there and bid $1 more than somebody else and just stare at them afterwards.
Get the final spot on the show that day because you bid $5.01 when somebody else bid $500.
I want to bid $1 over the person who's been standing there since the very opening. They've been there for an hour.
That's how you get stabbed in the parking lot.
Just seething. And I bid $1 over them, and I win. And like by a large amount. Or I bid $1 over and hit it right on. That would be, perfectly ideal. Double showcase. Let's do it.
That is how you get stabbed in the parking lot.
I want to spin that wheel full of blood. That's some other conspiracy. I think that was Tosh. I think that's one of his stand-ups. Yeah, I mean, the Price is Right. I've been watching it for 30 years now.
Yeah.
I mean, you get home from preschool, grandma's watching Price is Right.
Oh,
you're home from sick, you're watching Price is Right.
You didn't know you were taking mental health days in 3rd grade? But some days you're like, I ain't doing this, Grandma. Grandma comes pick you up. You watch Price is Right. You get a nice little lunch. You watch Willy Wonka after The Young and the Restless is over. That's a good day.
Right.
That's a good day.
I mean, I didn't take near as many mental health days as you did.
Well, you're not as mental as I am.
I feel okay.
It was like New Year's, like 2014 or something like that. We stayed at our friend's house, and we woke up and we were watching The Price is Right. New Year's Day, Price is Right. New episode comes out, and the first person on the show wins Double Showcase.
That's a great way to start.
That's a great way to start the year.
Doesn't get better than that. I don't
Except for all the taxes that kid had to pay.
Right. I'll say I watched an episode where it was a girl's 18th birthday and she won a Double Showcase, and like she's like, "That's so exciting!" And they get her dad up there, and her dad's just like, "I'm gonna have to shell out so much money for this." Because how do you say no?
Worth it. So those are Zach and Don's number 4. My number 4 is I don't know why I love this game, because there's absolutely no skill to it whatsoever, and that's Deal or No Deal. It is the biggest game of chance.
I thought of Deal or No Deal. Not a fan.
It's so, like, it's...
If I were to play it, that's like, I want a game that relies on me somehow.
But to me, that's part of the fun, is that I have virtually no control over what happens. Like, I'm just blindly trying to pin the tail on the donkey. And you got no...
You get down to 2 cases, you swap it or not? There's a penny and $1 million.
Well, I mean, I would prefer the one that's $1 million.
Right, but you don't know which one. Like, you have one case.
What number do I have, and what number am I swapping?
You have 7. Is it 1 through 20?
1 through 30.
1 through 7 and 21. 21's left. You have 7.
Taking 21.
And they're offering you like $320K.
I'm taking the deal.
I think I would at that point between a penny and $1 million. But that's also way higher than what they would offer you.
Oh, for sure.
Between a penny and $1 million.
Right.
Let's do 10K and $1 million. And they offer you 200. I'd take the 200.
Taking the deal. Yeah.
But you don't get to. You already passed up on that. You had an out of body.
They're gonna kill your wife if you take the deal. Like, I'm taking the deal. I'm
taking
taking the deal that much quicker. What is wrong with you? I'm now single and I have $200,000.
Upgrades, people. Upgrades.
Upgrade.
So you can't take the deal. You already turned it down. You blacked out and you said no deal. Do you want to switch? Do you want to switch?
Was
your
I
case?
under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
No, you just.
I'm swapping.
You are.
I don't trust myself in the slightest.
See, I think I'm going to ride or die with the case I picked originally.
See, I'm with Don. Like,
that's how they get you.
Right.
Till they open that
right, and then
$1 million case up, and then you just collapse in anguish.
Swapping. So I got no control over it, but for some reason I love the game. Producer Ashley and I like cruises. They like Deal or No Deal on every cruise, and we just played for the first time on the last cruise we went on before the Rona, and for some reason it just completely enthralls me. And I would love to be on that show. So that's my number 4.
You gonna shake Howie's hand, even though you know he doesn't want it because he's a germaphobe? Are you gonna make him shake your hand?
I'm gonna rub the back of his head. Really mess with him. So those are our number 4s. Zach, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is the Cash Cab, one that Don had already previously mentioned. I also thoroughly enjoyed the Cash Cab. It was just kind of a different take on a classic game show. That it was trivia, but you know, there was truth and consequences with it. Because I mean, if you get 3
strikes, you get kicked out.
You get kicked out.
But you also don't get charged. If they'd have charged them after they kicked them out, that'd have been great.
That would have been fantastic.
So not only do you lose, but that'll be $27.50.
Right.
You didn't even take me where I needed to go. $27.50.
Life sucks.
Get the fuck out of my cab.
See, so Ben Bailey, before he was the host of Cash Cab, was a stand-up comedian. His stuff's not that great.
That's why he's hosting a
why
show
he
on
hosts,
Discovery Channel.
Right. But he did a special after Cash Cab had, gotten to be mildly successful, and he was telling a story of that. So there's the van that he drives, and he has to he is a registered cabbie with the city of New York.
Has to be.
Yeah, has to be. And then he has a production van that follows him, and then in that production van is a New York City police officer whose sole job is to keep him alive. And he said that there was this episode that they were filming where this car got in between the cash cab and the production van and was just riding his behind and was honking the horn and all this stuff. And finally, Ben Bailey throws the cash cab in park, gets out, starts screaming at this guy, and the cop walks up and was like, Ben, is everything okay? And the guy's like, this crazy cab, he's yelling at me. And he was like, yeah, it's my job to keep him alive. And he was just like, and the guy was like, so you're not going to do anything? No, man, like you were like tailgating him, all this good stuff. And he's like, and I just calmly, or he's like, I just got back in the car, I slammed the car door shut, I went, so what's the capital of Hungary?
Oh, so it was while they were like someone else was in it?
Yeah, like somebody was in the cash cab.
So I've got pulled up. We're doing like a little video thing here. I've got those shirts pulled up. Like I want those shirts. The ones on eBay stop at XL though, so those aren't.
So I need
that's
4 of those shirts to
us
stitch
any
together.
They had them on Etsy as well, so I'm gonna start doing some shopping looking for these.
You do that. I always thought the trivia questions on Cash Cab were really not that hard.
Yeah.
No, they're not.
Like-
but that's why you only leave with like $400.
Right.
Like
Right,
he's dropping some people off at the club and he's like, "Hey, you got $400? What are you doing with that?" We're getting some drinks. We're gonna hop in a new taxi and go to the nice club.
Right.
Well, that's a good way to look at it.
All right.
So that's Zach's number 3. Don, what about you?
So my number 3, another Nickelodeon classic, Guts. I want
Guts.
nothing more than to
Guts
climb
was
that
such
aggro crag
I'd say Guts was
Get to the
such a
top.
great program.
and take the piece of the rock wall home. I think you take the aggro, like a piece of the aggro crag home, right? That's what it's called.
It's been a long time since I
But
watched
it's kind of like
the main thing
Kids
I remember.
Ninja Warrior.
I would say it's more like
Pretty
gladiators, like American
I was
gladiators.
going to say, I wanted to put American Gladiators because I would have loved to have been like taking on Laser and Blazer and Glazer as they shot tennis balls at me from the
Right.
Gatling gun.
Right. The one thing that I always remember about Guts, that the weirdest thing was that it was hosted by Mike O'Malley.
Oh, yeah.
Like, why Mike O'Malley?
The aggro crag, and then the mega crag, and then the super aggro crag on Global Guts.
It's a good show.
They had that British referee who didn't really referee anything. She was just kind of the co-host.
Right.
but
She just read the commercials when they came back from commercial.
Right.
Guts is brought to you by Foster's Australian for beer. Why are they advertising during kids programs, me wonder?
Foster's, Australian for beer. Hooray, beer.
Hooray, beer. Also, these
Or is
random
that's Red Stripe.
That is right.
these random $500 bikes your mom and pop won't buy for you. God, why were bikes so expensive? Is it just because Huffy was like 5 minutes down the road and everybody got to ride a Huffy? But they're like, oh, the Schwinn has made of pure gold, and if you survive Blazer and Laser and Glazer for little kids, you get to take a $900 bike home
And a piece of the aggro crag.
and a piece of the super duper aggro crag glug glug 9000.
Oh, God. But yeah, I've got Guts on here. I always watch, so Guts and Legend of the Hidden Temple, always watched them, loved them, always wanted to do them. And obviously that didn't happen, but
Before the show producer Ashley said, figure it out. She wanted to figure it out.
Figured Out was a good one.
Good show.
was-
Summer
I-
Sanders.
I think I forgot about
Nickelodeon
that.
used to have some really good shows.
Right.
There was the one, what was it, where everybody got slimed on?
Double Dare.
Double Dare.
Yep.
Because you could play the game or you could do a physical challenge.
And then
Zach's
Nickelodeon.
like, well, I'm sitting on mine.
I say, well, I'm going to have to sit this one
Well,
out, boys.
Nickelodeon also had the arcade. I think it was just called like Nick Arcade.
Yeah.
And like you were part of the game.
Right.
So like you had to like climb up the ladders and jump over barrels and stuff. And that was
solid.
that was another one that I wanted to
that
play.
was-
It was called just Nick Arcade.
So that's Don's number 3. My number 3 is a game produced and aired exclusively on Game Show Network. It was called Lingo. And so Lingo, they would give you a letter. And so in this round, every word started with the letter N. And it would be five letter words. And you had to figure it out. And I was always really, really good at that for some reason. Like, my brain moves like 1,000 miles a minute. I will like lay on the couch and I'll go from like thinking that it's hot today, wondering like when Sir Edmund Hillary was born in about 21 seconds. And I'm like, how in the hell did I get here?
So that's what
And
mine
so-
does when I'm like trying to sleep at night. I'm like, I wonder where Sirhan was born, and then I'll Google where Sirhan was born, and then go down a rabbit hole on Wikipedia that it's like Sirhan was linked with these people. Oh,
Right.
who are those people? And then all of a
Did you
sudden it's
think of
3 o'clock in the morning.
weirdest Stuff.
And then you're looking at like when the Sri Lankan flag was officially ratified,
Right.
and you're like, how in the hell did I get here? You're in the episode on YouTube where the skinheads throw a chair at Geraldo Rivera. It's the sun is starting to come up, and you're like, I got to be at work in 2.5 hours.
you always end up at some point coming back to George Bush dodging that shoe during a press conference.
Every time.
That
We've
was
all
great,
been there.
Because, I mean, he ducks that first one
Oh, he's-
expertly, and then he comes back up, and then he throws a second shoe. Like, you think he's going to walk around all cockeyed the rest of the day? Like, come on, George. Stay ducked.
But W's pissed, man. He's
Right.
like, you're going to catch these American hands. These colors don't run, son.
Don't mess with Texas.
That's right. So Lingo, my brain just
Bill
works.
Lingball hosts that?
He might have hosted a version of it.
I'm just
but
looking
Chuck
at like
Woolery-
pictures for it.
Chuck Woolery used to host it, but it just moves so quick that you gotta bang.
Is
bang,
it
bang,
any
bang, bang.
5-letter B word? Like bonus, bingo, brain.
No, so they give
Or
you
is
like it is Pacific
Gotcha.
words that you gotta bang out pretty quick. And my brain just always moved really fast, and it was so fast paced that you never got bored
Gotcha.
watching it, and I think it'd be fun to sit there and be on it for 21.5 minutes. So that's my number 3. Don, your number 2.
My number 2, Family Feud. I'm going to go up there with Steve Harvey and hit that buzzer and say something super inappropriate to where he's just like, there is no way that you just said that on television.
And you're like, yes,
Show
you
me
did.
potato salad. And then it's the number 1 answer. And then he, but we,
Price is Right, the song.
it is. But he,
Show me potato salad. And then your family's like, yay, because you got to clap ridiculous.
we passing or playing.
Good
Passing or-
answer. Good answer. No matter what you said, no matter how stupid it was.
Oh, see, we would not. We've had that
Like
conversation.
your sister be like, you're an idiot. Oh my God.
Name a book of the Bible, and you said Austin 3:16. What the hell are you thinking? Good answer.
I hope you get Lou Gehrig's disease, Don. You're like, wow. Not something you should say to someone, Allison.
We're on television. Probably not anymore.
I like how we just agree that Allison's the one saying hateful stuff.
no, it's
Well,
Stephanie.
all of them, all of us. So we held tryouts in our house for who would be in our Family Feud team.
Like, Rob, you could stay at home, buddy.
That was the original idea. He came up with a couple good answers. We let him in. We kicked Mom off.
Oh, wow.
Mama.
Yeah, I can't remember. It was like 3 years ago where we'd watch it every day of the week.
Right.
We would watch Family Feud, and obviously, me and Allison are the powerhouses. We're
That's a
bringing the championship home.
Right.
But we
We're
had
bringing
some-
$141 home to Wilshire. All right.
got 199 points. Come on.
Show me potato salad. See, I thought about Family Feud too, but our episode would not be able to air.
Well, I don't.
Like, just couldn't.
But do you think that when they go on Family Feud, they're like, you have to say good answer?
Absolutely.
Oh,
After.
absolutely.
You have to clap and be like, good answer. And then there's that one smug son of a bitch on the end of every family that's just like, you're an idiot.
Right,
Like,
me.
You're stupid.
But me and Allison are at the front of the family, so we're like
You're
in the
leading
wide
the
shot.
charge.
We're in the close-ups of other people. Like, you're such a fucking idiot. Why would you say bed knobs and broomsticks for
Books of the Bible.
right?
So I thought about Family Feud too, but you know what? That is probably the one game show I'm like, nope. I'm gonna stay away from that one.
Don't trust my family enough to be on the feud.
So that is Don's number 2, Zach.
My number 2 is The Price is Right. That it is just a classic game show, and I feel that every kid in America wants to be on The Price is Right. Like there's no two ways about that.
And nothing against Drew Carey, but if it was Bob Barker, I think it would be higher on my list. Like, I like Drew Carey. I like everything about Drew Carey.
but he's not Bob.
Right,
not Bob
he's not
Barker.
Bob. I mean, and that's
Drew Carey
no
ever
fault
fight
of his own.
Happy Gilmore?
No. He fought Kane in the Royal Rumble. And by fought Kane, I mean
He was
he
eliminated.
climbed over the rope when Kane came into the ring. He ran away like a smart man
Right.
would.
Like a very logical choice.
Right,
Zach,
but I mean,
Price is Right, number 2.
I mean, because really, who doesn't want to play Plinko? Like, Plinko is a game that does not require skill. That requires luck
See, I don't
purely.
right, so I don't want to play Plinko.
But, like, I want to play Plinko.
I want to play the yodeling mountain man.
Don't. Damn it, Don. Okay, we get it. I was
Or
saying, shut
like
up.
there's like the putt. I kind of don't want to play the
I
putt
don't
one
wanna play the
either.
putt-putt
I want
one
to play
either.
the prices right, not putt 30 feet.
Right. But no, just the Price is Right is that classic game show that every other show is compared against.
If I wanted to play putt, I'd take someone I wasn't really that interested in on a first date.
Good to know.
All right.
Good to know. My number 2 is Jeopardy. I'm filled with useless knowledge. We had a fairly serious family meeting. Zach, I, and our father a few days ago. Our dad is trying to explain his medical power of attorney and his newly updated will. And I'm like, Helena Bonham Carter! The entire time. Wow. And Dad's like, all right, so I got to do not resuscitate. And I'm like, the capital of Hungary is Budapest, bitches. So I'm just,
Is this a real conversation that
Yeah,
you're shouting?
absolutely.
Yes. Like
100%. Like my dad is like,
Is it
so
the-
Zach's going to be the executor of my estate. And I'm
Wow.
like, and I'm
Good
like,
for you.
I know, right? That's what I
Charles
said.
Dickens wrote A Tale of Two Cities. All right.
Do you-
$400.
So now do you wonder after that meeting and after your reaction during that meeting, do you wonder, why am I not the executor of the will?
No, I know
It's probably
exactly.
it's probably because you don't take anything serious.
I will tell the story of why I'm the power of medical attorney
Oh, you get to pull the plug?
in the reaction show. It's a reaction show.
Is it going into a trust or is it just getting split?
Oh,
Just
it's
get
just
split.
a split between the three of us.
Gotcha.
We got a sister we don't talk much about
Right.
for
But-
obvious reasons. But I'm full of just useless, stupid knowledge that I'm really good at. Like my thumb, I got the fastest thumbs in Mercer County outside of Leanne Frank. But I got a quick trigger.
That's true.
I know my stuff. Like Zach was getting pissed because a third of the way through Alex Trebek asking the question, I'm like, bam, got it.
Like, you got to let him read the question, man.
Why is Helena?
No, you don't.
It was about Sweeney Todd.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was about
Yeah.
Sweeney
Oh,
Todd. Who's
so
Mrs.
I
Lovett and
understand.
Sweeney Todd?
I finally understand what's happening. You guys were talking to your dad, and Jeopardy was
Jeopardy
playing
was
in the
on.
background.
Yes.
And Garrett's
And
just banging him out.
Zach and my dad are like, all right, so what would you like us to do with the
Because
house? And I'm
what-
like, Helena Bonham Carter.
Because what you said was, Dad's explaining us the executor of the will, and I'm like, Helena Bonham Carter, the capital of Austria is Sri Lanka. Like,
Those are
you
two
did
countries.
Oh,
not express that Jeopardy was
Jeopardy-
on in the
that
background.
It was 7:40 in
Right.
the evening.
So
and
now
Jeopardy's on.
right. So I was concerned that you're just shouting
Oh, no, no,
random facts at your dad while he's explaining this.
No. Jeopardy's on. Alex Trebek is in his very own condescending way asking questions, and I'm answering them.
Right. You know, Alex Trebek is sitting there like he has the answer in front of him. Oh, I'm sorry. That is incorrect.
And he always
It
says
is
to-
magna cum laude.
and he always says to like the Asian contestant, like,
Right.
"Oh,
Oh.
I thought you would have gotten that one about
My favorite
about the capital of Thailand."
My favorite one is when there was a football category on Jeopardy, and nobody
Nobody-
answered any of
Right,
the five.
got- right.
And it was the last category, and he gets down to the bottom one, and he's going to be like, I'm just going to assume that none of you know this at this point. That is the purple people eaters.
And
Or-
of course, he probably doesn't know, but he's got a card in front of him.
Well, I think he knew. He's like, this 1980s defensive line for the Minnesota Vikings was known as what? If one of you get this, I will die. Like what?
Pancreatic cancer. Apparently too soon.
I was
Okay,
like, wait,
sorry.
bring it down.
You know what? Like
Jeopardy
you,
number
you don't joke about Tom Hanks having coronavirus, and you don't talk about
That's
Alex Trebek's cancer.
That's fine.
These are two lines that you don't cross, sir.
I apologize. I would like to take this moment to fake sincerely apologize for the words that I have recently said. So, Zach, what's your honorable mentions?
So, I have 2 honorable mentions. My first one is a show that they do not make anymore. They have not made it since the 90s. It was on PBS, and it is Where in Time is Carmen Sandiego.
Where in the world?
No.
Oh, there's Where in Time, there's Where in the World.
Yeah, but Where in Time just had a banger of a theme song, though.
Where
in
the
time
world is Carmen Sandiego?
Yeah,
The
that's
same theme song as Where in the World.
Stop this time and solve this mystery.
Yeah, it's a banger. But
I don't even know what that lady's name was, but she always talked like this.
she was the chief, man.
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? That's exactly what she sounded like.
It's pretty spot on.
For not even
actually.
thinking about that show for 20 years. That is exactly what that
Pretty
lady
spot
sounded
on.
like.
But
Where in the world
so it was
Carmen Sandiego?
Weren't they remaking Carmen Sandiego?
yeah.
They should
Like
be.
just recently?
Yeah, it's on Netflix. It's not bad.
Really?
For being a children's show.
Well,
I
I'm
mean,
not
it's-
going to bed tonight.
I'll say there's 2 seasons. You'll
Gonna rewatch
was
Hamilton.
Hey, happy 4th of July.
Oh yeah.
Oh, well, I guess we're just.
We're dating ourselves on
I was
this.
gonna say we're just flat out say, hey, this is
Well,
from the vault.
This is also right. This is in the vault. This is also like video for the second time we're testing it out.
Yeah.
So we're wearing the same clothes we did the
That's
other
true.
podcast that we
True.
did in the vault. So we might as well make it
I'm-
look like we're not complete skanks.
I'm not wearing a hat.
Neither am I. I thought about it after the intro. I was like, can't put one on now.
Yeah, too late.
Huh?
Producer Ash is like, do you guys want hats? No,
No.
it's fine. Nobody's watching this anyway.
See, it's important to temper expectations at the beginning.
100%.
Like, you can't expect me to wear a hat
For
ever.
right. Or
Or-
expect you to bring your own sunglasses anywhere.
Oh, I
just
don't
gotta-
own a pair of
I
sunglasses.
just have a center console full of sunglasses because inevitably Don's gonna be
So
like,
I don't-
I can have sunglasses too. Yes, Don, I brought
So
sunglasses for you.
I don't like sunglasses. Off topic completely, but I don't like sunglasses because they really mess with my eyes and my depth perception. So for whatever reason, I can't wear sunglasses. I don't like wearing sunglasses, but like if it's obviously really sunny out, or if I'm on the lake, then I'll pick up a pair of like $5 sunglasses that will keep my eyes from burning. Actually, this one might. Yeah, sunburned eyes.
All right.
Okay.
Any other honorable mentions, Zach?
So my second honorable mention, it's a newer show that I just became aware of. So I mean, it could have been on for 30 years, but I just found out about it. It's called 25 Words or Less, and basically they give you a key phrase that you have to get the other person to say, and the maximum amount of words that you can choose from is 25. But then they'll be like, how few words can you get them to say this? And be like,
Wow.
oh, I can do it in 20. And then somebody else be like, I can do it in 15. I can do it in 14. I can do it in 6.
And then like, do it.
Do it. Yeah.
So it's like
it's kind of like password.
So I need to get you to say harmonica. And I'm like, I can get Don to say harmonica in 15 words.
ooh, let's play one real quick.
I mean, you'll be able to know the word though.
Don't do harmonica. Do a different word.
Lamp.
Lamp.
I love lamp.
One word. Got it.
Boom. Don's the winner.
27 words or less.
Great
Yeah.
job, Don.
Yeah, that's I just
No,
found
that
out
sounds
of-
like a really fun
I was
game.
gonna say, yeah, no, it was really interesting, and I was like, that'd be a show. I'd
Like, what's
to play.
nice about that is that's a game that we could play when we get done recording this.
Yeah.
Good.
They
We
always
won't. We
play-
probably
I was
won't.
We're not gonna. But we could.
They play it with like, so like there's a contestant, and then like there's 2 celebrities who have to say the word. So like you get to meet 2 famous
So, like,
people out of it. So
There's Kristen Bell's there trying to help
Right.
you win $50,000. Cool.
yeah,
Don, honorable mentions.
So Legends of the Hidden Temple, we talked about. Wheel of Fortune is on my honorable mention list.
Is mine as well.
Yeah. I took it off.
Like I want nothing more than to go there and spin the wheel, and Vanna White walks over and turns on those TVs.
And that you make the final round, and then Pat Sajak in his plastic face tells you you've won $37,000 because the word was a 4-letter word. It was just RTSLNE. It's great. It was perfect. Like, wow. Of all the, it was just Arlent's.
Ristlany.
It was Ristling, and I won.
So your word was star, and we gave you RSTLNE. And
congrats.
would you like to buy a foul?
Why?
So, interesting fact about that, Pat Sajak has hosted every episode of Wheel of Fortune except for one, and that was an April Fool's Day episode where he did Jeopardy and Alex Trebek did Wheel of Fortune.
That's not true anymore. Because
That was true at the time that I heard that fact.
Right.
So,
well, because
So
last year he had to get some medical procedure done, so Vanna hosted. Which
so
was
I
weird.
think that's why I heard that stat. It was like
Probably.
up until this point,
Right. But no, like that's still like a really cool thing.
right? For it running for
Right,
30
for
plus
30
years.
plus years. Yeah.
Any other honorable mentions down?
Fear Factor.
You
I
want to
put-
just eat bugs with Joe Rogan?
I'd like to hang out with Joe Rogan, A, and B,
Whole reason we started a podcast.
and not really. He's just like top of the mountain.
Right. We're
Um,
coming for you, Joe. Watch out.
We're after that spot.
We're scrappy. We're scrappy. We're going to get you.
But I think that I could. Some of that crap I couldn't do,
Oh, there's...
especially on TV. So I'd like to do it, but I don't know what I would be able to do.
It's stuff
Like
that-
covered in bugs, I don't care about.
Well, I
like
was going to say, like, it's not stuff you're going to try to prepare for at
None-
home. Like,
right.
you're not laying in a coffin full of earthworms
none of
until you're on Fear
right.
Factor.
None of that stuff I want to be me on TV doing either. So, but yeah, I
just want to
could
chill with Joe.
Yeah, but I'm out. This is the first challenge.
No, that's
Bye,
Shark,
Joe.
That's Shark Tank. Shark Tank. I also would not want to be on Shark Tank.
No, that would be terrible.
Yeah, no. It doesn't sound like a lot of fun.
Just
But
having-
Mark Cuban and Mr. Wonderful,
No,
just hang out
no.
with them all day.
No.
I wouldn't mind hanging out with Mark Cuban.
That dude parties, I guarantee you. I have one other...
Parties.
I have one other honorable mention.
Yep.
I want to play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire with Regis Philbin. I don't
Yeah.
want...
I thought about
Vieira.
I thought about Millionaire once we
I
started.
thought about that too,
Yeah,
but
I
I was
don't
like,
want-
They did the
That was like big time TV.
right, that
when
was
it first
prime
started.
time.
Like that was a huge show.
I remember watching the first guy win $1 million, and he didn't use a single one of his lifelines till the last question. He was like,
And he
"I want to
called-
call my dad," and he's just like, "Hey, Dad, I don't need your help. I just wanted to call and let you know I'm about to be a millionaire, so that's cool."
I remember they did a celebrity version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and Jack Black was on it, and he ran through like 2/3 of the board without using anything because like his dad is like a literal rocket scientist, and his mom was also a smart lady. I don't know what she did, but like they're both like super smart scientists.
Clean, cooked and cleaned, probably. You know.
And
Sold
Jack
as
Black's
Normal
like,
mom stuff.
I act like an idiot, but I am also
am.
very smart.
I am a science rocket. Like, oh, okay. Jack,
Um,
yeah, you go, you.
Do you remember, this made me think, do you remember when we were playing Wheel of Fortune on the Sega Genesis
Yes,
at
and
your house
you
in
wrote-
2007?
I have no fucking idea as an answer, and
Like it
Alex
was-
Trebek was like,
I think it was,
No, that was
fuck
Je-
me,
it was-
right?
it was Jeopardy.
Fuck me, right? And then you are correct.
"That is correct. $400 to Dawn."
I was like, I think we figured out a glitch in this game. So the very next question, I typed in the same thing, and we got it wrong. So I don't know why that was the answer for that one question, but it was.
But it was. But it was. All right. Without further ado, yeah, the second time we got that in here, ne'er-do-well. Zach, what is the number one TV game show you would like to appear on?
The number one TV game show I would like to appear on, hands down, is Jeopardy. I have always enjoyed watching Jeopardy. I've always been pretty good at playing along at home.
Will you admit that I just massacred you the other day?
Yeah, sorry, because I was talking to Dad about rather important stuff. I wasn't really focused on playing Jeopardy.
I'm glad that we cleared up that Jeopardy was on in the
It
background.
was a
Right.
massacre, Don.
Yeah, because I wasn't playing. But
I used to play Jeopardy all the time. Like
right, like
tally up your scores. It's like beat this person to it, but I never took.
I
the
was
negatives.
basically Ken Jennings, and Zach was like Mike Tyson.
but
It was a massacre.
But I always like playing along at home. I was on our school's Scholastic Bowl team for all 4 years in high school, and I was really good at it. like Don said, we had it for the Sega Genesis that I bought in 2007. And again, if you typed in a fun line from Superbad, that sometimes counted as a correct answer. No, just I feel that it is the quintessential, like,
I'm going to join you
game
with this
show.
because Jeopardy's my number one too.
Yay.
And now I'm starting to question is like just everybody thinks that does everybody think that they're super smart and would do really good on Jeopardy? Like producer Ashley, do you think? Okay.
She
So
She got
apparently it's just,
bug-eyed and no.
I'm like a lot of people that I talk to are like, yeah, I'd love to be on Jeopardy. I do so good. It's like, but would you?
Would you really?
Would you like deep down in your heart, you know that you would.
Right? Do you believe that?
Like you need those click 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 click.
Just pounding that button.
I think index fingers faster than the thumb. I think I would switch it up.
See, I always like on the Tournament of Champions, and you can hear those guys just mashing on that buzzer.
So Tournament of Champions, that was something I was going to bring up. Was so funny. It was Ken Jennings, Brad. Is it Rudder? Rudder. Brad Rudder and James Holzhauer. We're going to go with that.
James Holzhauer.
Yeah, and there was one like little half.
Where they went to commercial break, come back, and they're like, "We're going to reset.
We're going to reset everybody's scores." Like, hey, Brad's is still the same because he had $0 from the round before.
Oh god.
Yeah, like that's a gigantic roast to all
But
those nerds.
they
out
were
there.
all having like a really good time with like the Tournament of Champions or whatever, and Ken Jennings just destroyed them.
Yeah.
Right. And then when they had the IBM Watson challenge, he just got the train ran on him. Like he could not beat that computer to save his life.
Right.
Until final
Because he's
Jeopardy.
a man.
Until Final Jeopardy, and like the question was like, what U.S. airport, blah blah blah, and IBM Watson was like, the Toronto airport, and like, well, you're wrong. But no, like that was a really fun tournament to watch too.
So our librarian in high school was going to go like be on the pre-show like tryouts for Jeopardy when we were I think when we were juniors in high school. We were at the new school, and he like got in a car wreck on his way to like the pre-show trial thing. But he was also a very smart dude.
I'll say, because like when they would do like the National Honor Society versus the teaching staff, like
Right.
he would just run the train.
Right.
So I don't know if you guys know this or not. There are a couple of different numbers you are not allowed to wager on your Final Jeopardy.
42069.
There's 666, 14, 88, 1488, and 69.
Why?
14, 1488, and 88 are all
White supremacy stuff?
Nazi-related
Okay.
numbers.
Interesting.
666, number of the beast. 69, nice.
Nice.
Obvious reasons, but yeah, as of like 2019, you cannot wager 69. But I want you to imagine a scenario where you wager 69 and Alex Trebek is like, and the wager 69. Nice.
Well, his wager is 69. The answer, nice.
No, Alex Trebek is like, and how much did you wager? 69. Nice.
Nice.
We asked for the capital of Luxembourg. You put nice.
That's a
How much-
city in France.
And how much did you?
Nice.
Oh.
Spelled nice.
And how much did you?
I'm so much more than these.
And how much? And how much did you wager? 69.
Nice.
Nice. So Zach and Don sharing their number one spot with Jeopardy. My number one.
It's got to be.
And I absolutely think you guys are crazy for
You got
not
the
having
Price is
Price is Right as number one.
I wanted
not.
to, but
You're all like,
I would much rather.
Everybody in America wants to be on The Price is Right. Yeah, they do. That's why it's number one.
But I would rather be on Jeopardy.
I would rather be on Jeopardy.
I can win more money on Jeopardy.
Right, but
I'm here to make money.
I'm here to show everybody how smart I am.
Enjoy winning your $150 when somebody runs the train on you.
Well, yeah, that too.
Yeah, but like in my fantasy, I am the
I
one
know.
running the train.
Like, I realize this is probably like anti-intellectualism. Nobody cares that you're on Jeopardy. You win a Chevy Cavalier on The Price is Right, and you're like a god to millions of people.
For a couple minutes.
Perfect.
But if you win 2 or 3 Jeopardies in a row,
Right.
Who cares?
you're got thousands of people.
Oh, yeah, because nobody knows Ken Jennings' name.
Okay, Ken Jennings won 67, not 2, chunk.
He still was kicking ass and taking names in Jeopardy.
Right, so a guy. You know 2 dudes who have ever won Jeopardy.
Okay, yeah, but I don't know any.
Don just had to go. Right, exactly. You remain that much more anonymous. You win better prizes. Let's be honest.
You get a base model Chevy Cavalier that you have to pay
Perfect.
the full retail price taxes on.
No, you pay the price of a base Chevy Cavalier.
Right. Which
Oh no, not $11,000, not $11,918, which I guessed correctly on one of several challenging games. I also won a blender and a lifetime supply of Metamucil before I won that Chevy Cavalier, and then I completely overbid on a trip to to somewhere in Austria that you wouldn't want to go, and to like Boise, Idaho.
Ooh.
So
your
excuse me.
Showcase Showdown, they wheel out the first prizes. Pass or play.
If it ain't a boat,
right,
or a trip, get it to hell. Like if they're like, oh, you got a General Electric refrigerator. Like, okay, Mildred can have that. Make with the trips. All right, I want a boat or trips.
Wave Runner and the 4x4s.
Right, and if they come out, the next one is like, and some sterling silverware. You're like, you know what? Like that bitch over there who finished 6th on the wheel, she can have it. Like, I don't care at this point. I want a boat. I want a trip. One of those 2. Don't care which.
$1,300. I'm within $100. Give me both prices.
Give me that $250. I want to be in that window. I want them both. I want to pay taxes. I want to pay obscene amounts of taxes. Just like I would be. My whole back bumper would just be won this on the Price is Right.
I want to give my aunt who does taxes during tax time something to do while she figures out how much I owe the federal government because I kicked butt.
I'm pretty sure you know right away. Like they're like, yo, so
right.
Good luck. Good thing we're in California because you owe a lot now.
Right.
Perfect. I want to be
we
on the
film
Price
this
is
in
Right.
Florida where there's no income
Right.
tax.
But like
let's go down to Orlando.
You guys talked about Plinko and the Yodeling Man.
In golf.
I want to play Plinko or Yodeling Man or the one you got to punch. You got to punch through the. I don't even know what the hell it's called.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called, but
it's got like punch a hole, and you either win like straight cash, homie, or you get that new Chevy Cavalier. I want to spin that wheel full of blood, whatever it is. Get me on the Price is Right.
I mean, I also want to be on the Price is Right. I just would much rather be on
I would just rather
Jeopardy.
be on Jeopardy.
Or Family Feud.
Yeah, you're winning
or Guts.
You're winning $1,500 thanks to a leave.
That's fine.
On Jeopardy. I'm having way more. Like if you lose on Price is Right, who cares? You have to be on Price is Right.
You look like a fool if you overbid.
You lose on Jeopardy, you look like a fool because everybody in America knows you don't know nothing about nothing.
I don't think so.
That's solid logic.
No, because I'm winning.
Whatever helps you.
Big winner.
Zach, thank you for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Or I try and go super negative.
At Zach Seawright on Twitter. Don, as always, thank you.
Super negative. Setting the world record for least amount of money on Jeopardy.
At Donnie_G on the tweet machine. I'm at Garrett Seawright. Follow the podcast at Rankin Podcast, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Download us wherever it is you download your podcast. Give us a 5-star review. We certainly do appreciate it. Pass this on to your friends. Let everybody know about the Rankin Podcast.